have been well trained.
No.
You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Or do not.
I'm not afraid.
There is no try.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Chance Cube coverage of the 2018 World Championship of Star Wars Destiny. My name is Todd, and in this video we're going to be watching a battle between D-House. Did I say it wrong? D-House on the left from the Jedi Trails running Elite Rey, Elite Ayla. And on the right, we're going to have Andrew from the Destiny Council playing Elite Yoda, Elite Hondo. Again, we're getting some really cool pairings on this second day. Obviously, coming into the final rounds of these of this last day of qualifiers for the day 2. I say it's qualifiers. These players, I don't know if we're going to have the cut on day 2, or if it was just a few more rounds of Swiss. I think it was just a few more rounds of Swiss before they cut to a top 16. And so this is kind of like the last day to qualify for that. I think we've seen Andrew here on the stream before. Did some really cool things with the Yoda Hondo in a previous streaming session. And then, of course, D-House running Elite Rey, Elite Ayla on the left, and getting the profitable connections for that extra resource, just being a wicked good deck. We've often seen that referred to as stairs, as coined by our wonderful friends over at the Hyperloops. So we see the roll-off. Yoda Hondo actually rolling really decent for a Yoda Hondo deck, and getting a 5, where as Rey Ayla hits a 4. So Andrew being able to pick the battlefield. Couldn't quite see what he was running. I believe he was running the Emperor's Throne Room to be able to turn his dice to specials and then be able to claim. It looks like D-House is playing the Obi-Wan's Hut to be able to give a blue character a shield. So we'll see if Andrew made a good call there, getting some extra shields. I do know that Rey Ayla can do a ton of damage really quick in the game. We see a very early roll-off for Ayla, and then we see Friends in Low Places. And we see, Reaping the Crystal, a couple of Shotos, a Heirloom Lightsaber, and an Overconfidence. So he does remove the Reaping the Crystal. Probably a really good call. The extra resource you could have had to play the Overconfidence as well as the Heirloom Lightsaber would have been pretty wicked. So seeing the 10 points for getting stuff off the prize wall being placed on the table for whoever ends up winning this particular round. We see the Shoto played out on Rey. I think that's definitely the first call that you want to try to do. All right, Hidden Motive being played out and hitting the melee side and getting removed. Interestingly enough, that was showing a resource. If he had been able to claim that resource, that Shoto would have been able to give Rey a shield. But without being able to get that extra resource, to get the extra Shoto, to get the extra shield on Rey, Rey does not get the activation ability. So a very good idea for Andrew to doubt or to Hidden Motive the resource instead of the die already showing a melee damage, in order to try to prevent that resource from being claimed and getting that Rey ability off. Very smart play. We see the Cunning placed on Hondo Onaka. Wow, oh man, Cunning. Cunning was a great card in Awakenings that had a little bit of a showing as certain things came out. Being able to Cunning a Crime Lord was a really popular thing to do in the Awakening set, at least in the meta where I particularly lived. Trying to get tons of resources and be able to use Cunning to just do some wicked good things, just proxying those specials as much as you can. D-House definitely having the experience, knows that he knows when he wants to take damage and when he wants to pay off Hondo. But that Cunning, being able to proxy Hondo's ability to possibly take 3 resources around if you're trying to prevent the damage, can be pretty difficult to do. So we do see Hondo roll out. We see the special, the discard, and a focus on the Cunning. Yoda's dice not rolling the specials or the focus, so he is going to possibly be discarding to re-roll to try to hit some more of those. He does resolve the Hondo special first, possibly having some extra resources to play some fun stuff. He does get the resources from D-House, and Andrew deciding what he wants to do next. So he actually disrupts the last resource of D-House, so any additional specials that he gets are just going to be straight damage. D-House claiming to put a shield on Ray. We see a double focus, a cunning, and okay, we're going to see 6 damage coming from Hondo and the cunning onto Ray. Woo! Massive damage. The Yoda Hondo, if you can get rid of your opponent's resources, as we saw happen just now, those specials are guaranteed damage, and it is wicked powerful. So, starting into the next round, we have 3 damage on Yoda. We have 1 shield on Hondo. We have a full health eAayla, and then a Ray with 5 damage on her. Still has 6 damage left. And we now have the resources to possibly get... Oh, I saw and it binds all things on D-House's side. Might not be a bad way to prevent some of the future Hondo specials by getting out some resource generation each round. Not sure if that's what he wants to do or not. Rolls in eAayla, gets the double blanks. My man. We easy pickings the blanks. I have actually seen that so many times in this World Championship. For me, I always like to wait for my opponent to re-roll and expend some additional resources to get those dice to turn to something they want. But I have actually seen a lot of players just go ahead and just straight up remove the dice. If they are showing the same symbol, you just get rid of them. They're showing resources, disrupt, discard focuses, or blanks. You just get those off the field so your opponent can't even pretend to do something with them. That's not a bad play at all. I've seen it come back and bite people pretty good sometimes if they leave those dice out there and then their opponent action cheats to be able to get out a ton of damage. So I'm learning new things every day with this experience. So we see Yoda roll in. He gets the special and the 2 focus side. So we are definitely going to be seeing some specials. We see an overconfidence on the Yoda dice. And the only problem is the special is actually so powerful on the Yoda dice, but it counts as a 0. So if your Yoda die, your other Yoda die hits anything other than the special, then that special is going to be going bye-bye. So we see an X8 Sniper played on Hondo. That is a really interesting card. I don't know if I've seen it... I was going to say I don't know if I've seen it too often. I was trying to say I have seen that card so often, and I absolutely love the X8 Sniper. Its ability to turn itself to any side just spending a resource. In a lot of cases, I think resources are a better option for turning dice than cards. And so its inherent ability to just turn itself to damage sides without having to get rid of the cards in your hand is so cool. Now, we didn't have any resources at the time, so we do see the discard to reroll from Andrew to be able to roll into some good damage. We see a 3-for-1 on the X8 Sniper. We've got a discard on both the Hondo and the remaining Yoda die, and then we've got a Hondo special and a focus on the cunning. We see the Shoto overwritten for a Ray's lightsaber, being able to get 2 shields on Ray, hopefully being able to activate her and get that ping. Sure enough, he does. Puts it onto the Yoda, going to stick with the strategy of pinging that Yoda to death. Rolls out and gets a 3-for-1 on the Ray's lightsaber, a blank, and a resource on Ray's dice. Whew! Man, these games are getting faster. These are some top-tier players right here. Andrew going ahead and resolving a special on Yoda's dice. I believe he used the cunning to focus Yoda to the special. Then he resolves specials to do 2 Hondo specials, getting some damage right through, hitting those shields off. And now Ray sitting at 9 damage. Yoda on Andrew's side, it's just showing 4. And then we still have that 3-for-1 sitting on Hondo, and he has the resource to pay for it. It could be a dead Ray. Sure enough, we see a caution to remove one of Ray's dice and get 3 shields on eAayla, and Ray's lightsaber redeploying to eAayla. It's so often for me I forget that it has redeploy. One of the neatest weapons, and on top of that, getting that redeploy is just so powerful. So some of the other big cards in D-House's deck are going to be the Heirloom Lightsabers, which also have redeploy on a blue character, and since they're all blue, he gets it. On Andrew's side, looks like we see an Entangle. I think I see another Friends in Low Places. And some, I think, 2 light bows. Yep, 2 light bows on Andrew's side. That's going to be wicked good in this particular case. Now, what I really love about light bow, as opposed to like any of the force powers, is that light bow can be placed on any character. It does not have to go on a blue character. So it's definitely a positive thing if Andrew can just get that onto Hondo and wreak some havoc there. Because when it comes to havoc, nobody wreaks like me. Props if you know that reference. All right, so we see Ayla rolling in. She has the Shoto and is able to remove a shield from Andrew's side. Remember, Shoto can either get a shield or remove a shield from your opponent. So if you are at full shields, make sure to go ahead and look at your opponent. If they've got any of those, knock them off. All right, so we see an Entangle on both of Ayla's dice. Entangle only being able to remove dice if they show a value of 3 or less when you're doing 2 of them. And unfortunately, Ayla hitting that special, which is so good. Oh my goodness, we see some great damage. We see, I think, 3 damage sitting there. The Friends in Low Places getting played. We see a Hidden Motive, a Force Illusion, and a Force Misdirect. Whew, Force Misdirect, super powerful, especially if you got Ayla specials out there. Being able to remove all of an opponent's dice, showing that same symbol. Wow, just a really, really good option. We see the Yoda special resolved to turn the double focus on the other Yoda die. That's obviously to get some wicked good stuff out there on the Yoda Hondo player. I think he's going to overwrite. Yeah, he overwrites. Interesting, the Cunning. Overwrites the Cunning for the handcrafted light bow. Cunning would have been able to proxy itself off the light bow to get 2 light bow specials, which I think would be extremely powerful here. But deciding that he wants to keep that X8 sniper, possibly for its ability, possibly for the fact that it's just a straight damage. And since he knows that D-House has that Force Misdirection in hand, and not being able to remove that range damage is definitely going to be a good thing. So we see a Determination play, and he resolves the 1 shield on the light bow for the special on the light bow. Oh, very cool. So Determination says play only if you have a die showing a focus. Resolve one of your dice as if it was showing a different symbol. So I think he resolved the light bow as the special. So specials do have a value of 0. So Determination does specify that the die that you resolve retains its value. So the interesting part is when you resolve a die that's showing a positive value, like a 1 or a 2 or a 3, and resolve it as a special, it still is just 1 special. It's kind of like if you take it and times the 1 times 0 is still 0. So it just resolves the special ability once. And that's one of the reasons why C-3PO with Y-Wing is so powerful, is because the Y-Wing has all base damage sides and blanks. So the blanks being a 0, you can resolve any side of the Y-Wing as a special when you're resolving C-3PO. Or in this case, if you had Determination in your deck, you could resolve Determination to turn the Y-Wing to the special. Oh my goodness. There it is. Everybody get over here. Oh, they're calling people over to yell at them. And we see the quadruple blanks. Double Ayla, Shoto, and the Rey's lightsaber hitting a blank on every single die. Does not happen often. It's definitely a rare occurrence. So we're gonna re-roll. I hope we don't see any blanks on this roll. And we don't. We see wicked good damage. But we see the defend on Andrew's side. Oh my goodness. Removing all of D-House's damage. Oh, it was so much. 3, 4, 5, 6 damage was enough to knock out the Yoda and do a decent dent into Hondo. But that defend, remove up to 3 dice, and 3 dice is exactly what he was showing. So we see another Force Illusion go down on Ayla. We see Hondo rolling out. He still does. Oh man, that was He's got that double focus on there. We see the force misdirection to get rid of the single Hondo special. So Yoda having to possibly use his focus just to get the sides that he wants. We see a reroll, we see a focus, a +2 on the X8, and a discard on the light bow. Why light bow has a discard side, I don't know. I don't see that resolved very often. So we see the light bow turn to the special. We see the 3-for-1 on the X8 sniper, still showing a focus on the Hondo die. And we are seeing eYoda using her special to turn the light bow to the blank. We see the 3 being resolved into eYoda, and we see a light bow and an ancient get milled from the force illusion to prevent the damage from the X8 sniper. Looks like D-House claims he is definitely faster, having the one character versus Andrew having the Yoda and the Hondo. That quadruple blank, that definitely made a difficult round for him, I believe. D-House starting with 3 resources now. We did see that last resource get kicked away, or the last shield that was on eYoda, I apologize. So we have 3 resources. eYoda is sitting at 7 damage. On the other side, 7 damage on Yoda and a full health Hondo. It's definitely looking like at this point Andrew has the advantage, but that can easily swing, especially with this particular deck. All right, we roll in and we get 2 melee and a 2 indirect on eYoda's dice. We see a force illusion played on Yoda. Looks like I see a synchronicity and a close quarters assault on D-House's side, and a couple of other cards that I can't quite make out. Trying to look at the pictures. Oh, they're full arts. They could be something like guard. Not entirely sure. So we'll kind of see what he decides to do, and maybe we'll get a better side of those. So we do see an ancient in D-House's hand. I think he probably... Yep, so he gets rid of the guard to reroll. Gets an eYoda special and rerolls that 2 indirect side again. He did not reroll the Shoto, showing the shield, and that's obviously because he's planning on playing that synchronicity. We see the force speed on Yoda. Whew, I almost said Yodo. That is not his name. It's really not. All right, so we have a force illusion and force speed on Yoda right now. Light bow and the X8 sniper on Hondo. That X8 sniper definitely doing good things on Andrew's side of the board. So we are seeing a close quarters assault in D-House's hand. He could get rid of one of those cards. Look like I see another determination on Andrew's side and a hyperspace jump. So hyperspace jump does not have the resources to play that immediately, but could easily get that with Yoda specials. See a force speed special, a shield, and a 2 focus on Yoda. Probably been looking for the specials, but that 2 focus is definitely fitting within Andrew's wheelhouse. So we have the synchronicity still. I'm wondering, I don't remember if synchronicity is unblockable damage. So we see eYoda's special being resolved, turning to the 2 melee, and then turning the force speed to the blank. Definitely a good idea. Oh, he resolves the 2 to as a disrupt, getting rid of D-House's resources. But we see the close quarters assault getting rid of the rest of Andrew's hand. He has nothing left, but he gets the specials. Ooh, definitely not what D-House wants to see. He does use the guard to remove the Hondo specials. The great part is, even though he lost his resources, he had those 0-cost mitigation cards. The close quarters assault and the guard to be able to remove his opponent's dice, remove his opponent's cards, remove the options from Andrew's side of the table so that he can try to do that little bit of extra damage that he needs. Now, if I remember, I think that synchronicity is unblockable damage, which means if Andrew decides to just take the 2 damage from Ray's lightsaber, just take it and not force illusion it, that means that D-House is going to be able to do it. So he does do the synchronicity first. So Yoda is sitting at 9 damage. So he is going to have to force illusion this. If synchronicity is not unblockable, then obviously there was not an advantage to playing that early. I'm going to go ahead and try to look that up real quick. while these players get ready for the next round, we do see the Ancient Lightsaber heal on eAayla. So now up to 5 health. So making a little bit of a comeback there. Not bad, not bad. As Watto would say. Getting a little bit of happy birthday in the background. We see Yoda roll in and pretty much get exactly what he wants. He gets the 4-speed special, the Yoda special, and the double focus on Yoda, which definitely seems to be working into Andrew's normal way of doing things. So now, in the meantime, I am still trying to look up synchronicity, but this game is moving really fast. I don't think I'll have the time to do that on the fly here. And getting a reroll, and the Yoda special getting removed. The 4-speed going into the shield. So that actually worked out. It was a really great call to do the overconfidence. We roll in, get the double Hondo blanks, light bow special, and a 1 range on the X8 sniper. Whew. This is a heated game. At any time, I would have definitely said that Yoda Hondo pretty much had the advantage once he started getting out those wicked good upgrades, and once Rey got so much damage on her so quickly from those specials. But eAayla really holding on there and doing an amazing job of sticking in. Alright, so I see the Ancient, another close quarters assault, and it binds all things. And then over here, alright, so it turns out synchronicity is actually unblockable damage. My beautiful wife just looked it up for me. Thank you. So it is unblockable, so I'm wondering if he had resolved the 2 melee, but he wouldn't have been able to synchronicity. Sorry, everybody. The sequence of events being really difficult, and these players are playing so quick. I'm very impressed with how well these players are just rolling in and knocking it out of the park. So we see eAayla rolling in, now getting a 3rd shield, and that meaning that he's going to be able to do some wicked stuff. Oh, we see the all-in play from Andrew, and D-House calls it. He says, all right, you got it. Sure enough, with the double focus, being able to turn to the Hondo specials, and yeah, just too much there. The all-in play, really powerful. Congratulations to both these guys. I love seeing both these players play. I love both of these podcasts. If you don't know who they are, check them out, the Jedi Trials and the Destiny Council. Both of these guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys. This is the last day for the qualifiers to move into day 2. My understanding is both of these players make it to day 2, so hopefully we'll get to see them in more than the funny pages, and we'll catch you guys next time on the Chance Cube coverage for the 2018 World Championship of Star Wars Destiny. Moving into the finals. I'm so excited.